Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Because I Feel Like It. Man, this is going to be a great episode. This is your boy Nelson Drew. Make sure you follow us and subscribe. And you can follow me at Nell2524. But today we're going to talk about top point guards and we're going to talk about top centers. Now, we all know when it comes to a point guard, he facilitates, he dishes the ball, make sure he drops that dime. And then we all know with the big man, they have a low post presence. They do the dirty work, get the rebounds. They get the offensive rebounds, the defensive rebounds. So, man, let's get into it now. Although today's game, the big man is kind of obsolete, and the big man is like shooting threes. The big man is dribbling all the way up down the court. And it's not like it was back in the day. I'm talking about back in like in the 80s and the 90s where you had a significant big man and you wouldn't catch him around the perimeter. He was either at the low block or maybe doing a 15 footer. But let's just go through today's big man. We're going to start with the centers first. So just for 2024, we got the top big man. We got Nikola Jokic, uh, Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, Victor Wembanyama, Demontis Sabonis, Bam Adebayo, Rudy Gobert, and just to name a few, Chet Holmgren. These guys are like the elite right now. Okay, and most of these guys, man, I know Victor Wembanyama, he can actually dribble from one side of the court to the next. Um, Shoot, Bam Adebayo, that man is the very, very, very athletic. Then you got Joel Embiid. You know, although he's having a down year this year, the man is phenomenal. The man can low post, can make moves. He can dribble the ball. And then you got like a unicorn in Nicolia. Man, that guy has like a slow, slothy type of game where he just kind of makes you like lulls you to sleep. He do an up or under, kind of like Kevin McHale. We used to do the like slippery ill moves, and then he'll have that behind the back. You know, he throw his shots releases behind his back. So you got those guys. Then you got you got the triple double Anthony Davis. On all this guy, and Rudy Gobert is a defensive prowess. He'll block his shot. You know, just a low post presence. But you got those guys, right? And then you got the guards. Okay, the guards nowadays are just shifty and fast, very strategic when it comes up the court. Just could go over 2025, and the reason why I'm getting the guys out now is because we want to get the real essence of the top 10 point guards and the top 10 centers. Okay, so we're gonna get these news guys. We're gonna put them out there. We all know the game now, but and also too, comment down below and tell me who your top 10 all-time greatest, top 10 all-time centers are. Okay, we're gonna get into it. All right, so we got this nowadays. You got Stephen Curry, Damian Lillard, Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic, De'Aaron Fox, Shea Gildress Alexander, Trey Young, Tyrese Maxey, just to name a few. Okay, Russell Westbrook is in there as well. So those are the guys that you see now. But man, let's really get into it, right? Top 10 when it comes to centers and point guards. Top 10. And remember, you as an audience, please comment down below and you tell me who your top 10 point guards are and your top 10 centers. All right, so let's get into it, okay? So we already named the guys that were born in the 90s, right? Right? We named those guys, right? But let's just take a look. Let's go with the point guards first. Okay, point guards, right? This is my top 10. Okay. Which is who I think should be ranked right now, number 1 through 10. So I'm starting number 10 and then working my way down. All right. So you got Steve Nash, which is number 10, Walt Frazier, which is number 9, Bob Cousy, which is number 8, Jason Kidd, number 7, number 6, Chris Paul, number 5, John Stockton, number 4, Stephen Curry, number 3, Isaiah Thomas, and number 2, Oscar Robertson, and the number 1 is Irvin Magic Johnson. Now, I'm just going to do the top 3 and I'm just going to describe their game because, man, we'd be here all day and all night if I go through each one of them. And I'm gonna touch on some of them, but let's go with the number 3 Out of Detroit uh, is Isaiah Thomas. He was with the Pistons from 1981 and 1994. He has two championships with the Pistons, and they were back to back. Finals MVP, 12-time All Star, 5-time All NBA selection. He and he's in the Hall of Fame, and he averaged 19 points a game, 3 points, three assists. No, I'm sorry, 3 rebounds a game, 9 assists per game, and 2 steals per game. Now that doesn't even I mean, those are the stats, okay, with Isaiah Thomas. But I'm telling you, when Isaiah was on the court, he demanded attention. He was the general. He was always in the mix. He was one of them tough point guards you just can't get rid of. I mean, the man had a dribble like no other. I mean, it was left, right, juke, spin move, right? I mean, Zeke the freak. I mean, the boy was good. The boy was awesome. I remember watching him. Now I was a little boy, and I just remember him just being a magician with the ball. Like you see Kyrie Irving now, that was Isaiah Thomas back then, and he had a little bit of grit in him. Now back then, Detroit Pistons had they was called the Bad Boys. So in the Bad Boys, they were rough, tough, and physical, and Isaiah would embody that. Man, he was a straight leader, and I put him at number 3 because he has so much influence on the game of basketball. He would come down the court and he would just shoot a jumper on you, or he'd come down and do a move and make you miss, right? And then he had a nice finish at the rim. So I got Isaiah Thomas number 3. Number 2, this might surprise some of you guys, is Oscar Robertson. Now, this is going way back, okay? Because between 1960 and 1970, between that time, he was with the Cincinnati Royals. Okay, that was the ABA League. And then from 1970 to 1974, he's with the Milwaukee Bucks. And yes, he has one championship with the Milwaukee Bucks. He was an MVP in 1963, 64, 12-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA selection, Rookie of the Year, and he's in the Hall of Fame. And he averaged 25, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, and he shot 48% from the field goal. Now, back then, way back in the 60s, they didn't have 3 pointers. Okay. And then, it evolved, and, later on in the 70s, 74. But man, Oscar Robertson was a walking double double. Russell Westbrook, now he beat his record, but still back then, that was pretty unheard of because if you think about it, they played tight defense, they didn't have any 3 pointers, and the clock, it was amazing. And it was tighter defense back then. But man, I'm telling you, Oscar Robertson was the man. If you average 27, 25, 7, 9, and 48 and doing 40, that's almost 50% from the field goal. That means he almost never missed. If you think about it, that man was a walking bucket. And he just revolutionized the game. He was the first one to get triple doubles. So man, that's amazing. That's why I got him at number 2, because he was rare for his time and he was the first. All right. And then I got at number 1, Irvin Magic Johnson, right? Went to play college at Michigan State, and then he came into the league. And his first year, he won a championship. He got five championships. Okay, of course, they're all with the Lakers. And so he's with the Lakers from 1979 to 91. Then he came back and he hit the hee hee. He hit him with the hee hee. Hit him with that back in 95, 96 Lakers. And so he was a 3-time MVP between 86, 87, 88, 89, 89, 90. 3-time Finals MVP, 12-time All Star, 10-time All NBA selection in the Hall of Fame. He averaged 19, 7, 11 assists per game and shot 52% from the field goal. Golly, if you ever get a chance, and some of you may be younger, I had a chance to witness him later on in his career. But man, Magic Johnson would come down and he would just had a ball going one way and dish it the other way. He would look for AC Green. He looked for Scott. He looked for Cooper. I mean, and then he had Kareem too. Man, the boy was unstoppable. That's why they call it Showtime. The Lake Show. I mean, it was amazing that some of the stuff go. But if you get a chance, go on YouTube and just type in Urban Magic Johnson's highlights. The boy was nice. I mean, 6'9" point guard. Think about that for a minute. You got a 6'9" point guard running the floor, and he can dribble the ball. So elusive, right? And then you think the ball is going one way, and he'll toss it over to his right shoulder. He'll look at you and then do a no look pass. And then it's all in transition. So just imagine trying to guard somebody that 6'9" is coming to you full speed, and you think you're trying to steal the ball, and it's over your head. Man, Magic Johnson was it. And he won championships. He won in his first year. He came out. The college ranks champion, and then he came into the league champion. Amazing. So just to kind of get in the rest of the list, and the reason why I got these guys stacked like this, you got John Stockton. Now I would have put John Stockton a little higher, but he had no rings, right? And pick and roll, like in today's game, pick and roll is pretty much all they do. But right now, I got him at number 5 because of the fact that he only had, even though he had most assists, he just didn't get over that hump. Of course, Michael Jordan had something to do with that. Of course, I had number 4, Stephen Curry, which is changing the game. Right now, he should be considered in the talks of the GOAT right now because he just changed the whole, 3-point aspect of the game. So I got him at number 4, and Chris Paul, of course, I got him at number 6. Now, Chris Paul, man, is a facilitator. He's been doing it for years, and he's IQ smart when it comes to basketball. He knows how to place. It's a 2-for-1. He knows how to do that. Jason Kidd, man, wizard with the ball as well. Bob Cousy, because back in the day, he pretty much was going against plumbers. No offense, but man, he was the master with the ball too as well. You got Walt Frazier and Steve Nash. Now, Pistol Pete Maravich should be, I think I'm number 11. But Pistol Pete was the man too. So that's why I got in my top 10. I got number 1, Irvin Magic Johnson. Number 2, Oscar Robertson. Number 3, Isaiah Thomas. Number 4, Stephen Curry. Number 5, John Stockton. Number 6, Chris Paul. Number 7, Jason Kidd. 8, Bob Cousy. Number 9, Walt Frazier. And number 10, Steve Francis. Now, don't get me wrong. I would definitely want to see your list. Please, by all means, comment down below. See what you got. Tell me who your top 10 is, whether it be present or just all time. All right. Now, let's get into the centers. All right. We got the top 10 centers. Okay. The top 10. And what I'm going to do is I'm start from 10 and work my way down. Okay. Number 10, Nikola Jokovic. Number 9, Joel Embiid. Number 8, Patrick Ewing. Okay. Number 7, David the Admiral Robinson. Okay. Number 6, Moses Malone. Number 5, Akeem Olajuwon. Number 4, Big Aristotle, Shaquille O'Neal. Number 3, Walt Chamberlain. Number 2, Bill Russell. Number 1, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So let's go to number 3. Okay. Wilt Chamberlain, 2-time two NBA titles, 1 final MVP, 2 all defensive MVPs, 4 MVPs total, 7 all-star selections, first team as well, all NBA as well. And the man was a beast. Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points. Okay. What I saw in my lifetime is Kobe scored 81. But Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points, and he was with 2 teams. Okay, he's with Philly and the Lakers. Okay, the man was a walking giant, like Goliath. Okay, and he was the first one to kind of like grab the ball and dunk it with his big hands, and he used to spread the ball out. He used to fake, left and right with the ball fake. Man, Wilt Chamberlain, he is the man. I mean, he made it look too easy. Okay. Number two, of course, his nemesis, his arch rival was Bill Russell. The man has 11 NBA titles, 5 MVPs, 11 All NBA selections, 12 All Stars, and 1 Olympic gold medal. Now, the fact that Bill played in a racist town, okay, he had to deal with a lot of criticism. And even when they traveled, okay, he had to deal with a lot of adversity when it came to racism. So Bill not only beat that, but he beat the teams over and over and over again. I mean, 11 rings, that's more fingers. The man has only 10 fingers. The man has more rings than fingers. It's amazing. a hustle guy too. It wasn't like he was scoring at will. Yes, he would run up down the court, but he was more of a hustle guy. Get the rebounds, get the steals, get the blocks. I mean, the man was a giant. He was a tower. Bill Russell. And he named a trophy after him, the MVP of the NBA. I mean, NBA Finals MVP. And he named a trophy after him. So, Bill Russell was the man. He went through a lot. He went through a lot, but man, he was victorious. He was very, very successful on the court. All right. Number one, I got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Let me go through his accolades: 6 NBA titles, 2 Finals MVPs, 6 MVPs total, 10 All-NBA first teams, 19 All-Stars, 5 All-Defensive teams, first team selection, and he was second in scoring. Of course, we know LeBron James is number one, third in rebounds, as well. Man, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Mr. Skyhook. Okay, that's the only man I know that can make the Skyhook look good. All right, and don't get twisted. You couldn't run up on Kareem either. So Kareem knew karate. I don't know if you remember, if you watched some of the Bruce Lee movies, he was in those. All right. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I remember watching the documentary, and Magic Johnson kind of had to get him out of shell because he wasn't really approachable. You know, Lou Alcindor was his first name. Okay, but Kareem, man, the boy, against the Boston Celtics, that Boston versus Celtics rivalry, Lakers versus Celtics. Watch the documentary. Those guys, man, went at it. But Kareem, man, he was good, man. He I mean, you talking about low post moves. He would run them down the court. The man was in shape. But we really don't have the essence of the big man. So let me go to this list again. So, you had, Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing was the man. He would go against, the rough and tough New York Knicks. That's those teams against the Bulls, against the Celtics, against Miami. Man, those guys just to go at it. He had a great 15-footer, Patrick Ewing, and he was just tough, man. I remember him, also being very stylish in his gear too as well. And then you had Akeem the Dream Olajuwon. Man, this guy, if you ever see his highlights, the man made you miss in the air 4 or 5 times. He has so many low post moves, and to this day, he teaches other players how to make different low post moves. But man, he made David Robinson look silly one time. He made him go up and then up again and then up again. Man, he missed 3 times and laid the ball up. And he was so disciplined to his faith. He would go days with fasting, and the man was a great 2-time champ. Um, David Robinson, he was just the admiral. He was the muscle man. He would come down, slam dunk, and he would run you to death. You would see him go up and down the court, and definitely be a presence. Now Shaquille O'Neal, my God, the man was humongous. Close to 7 foot. It just barbecue chicken all day with Shaquille. Barbecue chicken. If you down on the low post, you better just get out the way because he would just muscle you. Okay, and he had some charisma. He was fan favorite. He was just the man. I know he averaged probably over 30. Then of course he had Kobe. But man, just the most dominant center I've seen ever in my lifetime. So those are my top 10 point guards and centers. And of course, we got to pay homage to those who came as well before us, the Kareems, the Magic, the Oscar Robertson. But speaking of the Lakers, shout out to LeBron James, 50,000 points. The man is just setting records. We're really going to miss him one day when he done and retire, because there's no other man in this NBA realm that I just mentioned that's done what LeBron James has done. So please appreciate him now. I mean, he is 40, 41, and is still playing at a top tier level. So you salute to LeBron James, man. He is just phenomenal. He's the smartest basketball player I've ever seen, and the longevity is just out of this world. Stupid crazy. All right. So once again, man, comment below. Tell me your top 10 point guards. Tell me your top 10 centers. Hey, if you agree with me, great. But look, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right. Because I feel like it. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. All right. Peace, y'all. Look forward to the show later on, too. Make sure you watch Because I Feel Like It. Peace.